Welcome back to the read. I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday or whatever day that are you reach to this particular reading. It has been a rainy day where I am, and I kind of love it. It just gives a mood. You know what I'm saying? A little mood. So last night we did a reading for Libra and Virgo. Today we will continue along our astrological signs, but this read right now is a collective read. I love these things because you never know what's going to come out. We're all going through such different things, and I think the beauty of this is that we can find some resonance in it always. Love that card. Love that card so much. That's my card of community. I also love this card too. Ooh, are we? So it may not be a card of community. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, let's see. Page of Swords. So we got swords, we got cups, we got wands, we got the devil. Let's see what else comes out. We're going to do one last shuffle. If nothing comes out, we'll cut the deck. Oh, I don't even know how that came out. But we'll finish the shuffle as we normally do. So you started with the Three of Cups. Usually that's one of my community cards. You may be in community and you might be celebrating achievements, but you have some interesting energies surrounding. You have the Devil card, so that could also suggest that, oh, I'm getting quicker. I'm getting quicker. I'm noticing. I just do that because I don't know all of YouTube's guidelines, and I would suppose that naked people, even if they're on illustrated cards, might be an issue. So I just cover it just in case. I think that even though you have the card of community out here, that there might be some overindulging going on. It doesn't necessarily have to be the drink or the za. Maybe we're not spending enough time by ourselves because, we can overindulge in community as well. Maybe we're spending too much time outside. Is you outside? Have you been outside? It's time to come inside. So I kind of read these energies, especially with the Devil card out there. I don't necessarily pull reversals, but you can read things in reverse depending on the energy that is surrounding. And you definitely have that energy out there. So the Devil card acts as to bring us into awareness some of our cycles and patterns that might not be the healthiest forms of coping for ourselves. We use tarot as not just a tool for divination. I don't use it for divination. One thing that I haven't told you guys is that I don't predict the future. That's not my job. That's God's job. So you'll notice that none of the readings that I give is future oriented. I do give potential outcomes. I do give practical advice, but the future is just a off limits thing for me. That's personal to me. Other readers do it differently. Kudos to them. But here on this channel, you're not going to see that. But as it relates to the Devil card, like I said, this is calling you to to be very, very truthful with yourself. Very, very truthful with yourself. The God honest truth. So help me God. There might be some things that we're doing that is not of our highest self, and it's asking you and really begging you to bring that to awareness. You don't have to share those things inside the comments, but I do definitely want you to think about it. I was saying something earlier that the devil can also point to some type of addiction, but I want to be clear that addiction doesn't always come in the form of like, oh, I'm an alcoholic, oh, I'm a weedaholic. Weedaholic. Girl. I'm a gambler. I do this, I do that. It doesn't always necessarily have to be that. Sometimes we're addicted to a certain type of thought pattern that keeps us stuck. Maybe we're addicted to a certain type of emotion. Maybe we like the drama. Do we like the drama? You know, sometimes, hey, I'm going to be real. There's nothing wrong with a little drama here or there. As long as I'm not in it. Call me Bennett because I'm not in it. But yeah, we can be addicted to a lot of things, and unfortunately those things keep us bound and keep us chained, and really what it's keeping us chained from is marrying with the highest form of self, our elevated self. And look at that, you have the Temperance at the bottom. So this is asking you to find some type of moderation, is asking you to find some balance. Yeah. I really want you to sit and think about that. If anything is coming to mind as I talk about this, because the cards don't just be cards. The cards be speaking. And the other thing with the Temperance card is you also have to be reminded that you're being guided by you have divine guidance. You have divine guidance on your side. So as you're going through this devil energy, I want you to think about some of those unhealthy patterns, some of those unhealthy ways. And once you bring those to awareness, it's going to bring you to a tower. The Tower card comes sequentially after the Devil card in the Major Arcana. Knight of Pentacles, this might be a slower process. Now you have all elements out on the table. Yeah, let's see what's at the bottom. The High Priestess, intuition, y'all. Intuitively, you know. Intuitively, you absolutely 100% know. And it's upon you now that you have brought that to your awareness to do better. The saying goes, if you know better, you do better. But sometimes that is not always the case. You may go into a planning phase after this, as represented with the Two of Wands. You might have to get creative with the ways in which you're going to replace these unhealthy habits. It's not enough just to get rid of the habit and say that's that. One, that's really, really difficult. There's very few people in this world that are just able to drop a bad habit. There's a couple bad habits I can drop, especially in the form of people, but other habits are really hard to drop. and hard to adopt. So you might go through a planning phase where you say, okay, I've recognized this habit. Now let me plan what are the ways in which I'm going to support myself in developing healthier ones and newer ones. You might go through a little battle with this. I wonder if it's external because you also have the Three of Cups. Again, that's the cup of the card of community. I think you might be overindulging, and that's okay, as long as we make are aware of it, and then we make a plan to get out of it. This might be a battle for you. I really do be thinking you be outside. I really do. I really do. I don't know why, but I feel like you're outside, and you're outside a little bit too much. We got to find that balance of outside and inside. And sometimes outside is expensive. Have you guys noticed that? Every time you go outside, it's like a boom, $100. You took a breath. Boom, $100. Oh, klutzy, Nate. Klutzy, whatsy. I'm going to leave them where they landed. Okay? Pew. I'm going to leave them where they landed. They landed where they wanted to land for a reason. So let's leave them there. It's going to take a battle to get through this devil card, to get through this energy, and that's fine. Your life and your higher self is worth fighting for. Let's say that again. Your life and your highest self is worth fighting for. So remember that. You're going to find some emotional stability as you go through this. But before we go to the King of Cups, let's go in order of the pull, of the draw. So you go from the Five of Swords to the Page of Swords. So that's something that you're going to be learning. You're going to be going back into a learning phase, and you might be then judging your learning with the Justice card, judging your learning against your moral and value system. The Justice card is a card of Libra, the ultimate diplomat, the ultimate judge. Libra. They are, she is, he is, they is. And so I think you're going to be learning new methods. I think this is kind of what's going on in the middle, in between the Devil and the Two of Wands. You're going to be learning new methods. And I think you're going to be weighing those methods. Okay, was this a pass or was this a fail? Do I keep this or do I tweak this? Do I keep this or do I tweak this? I like that. You're going to find some type of emotional stability within this process because you have the King of Cups. You're also, I think you're also going to be delving. I think this might kind of push you into a spiritual journey as well. Sometimes when we do what this is calling us to do, really the real word for what this is going on here is shadow work, right? Let's call a spade a spade. And shadow work is deeply spiritual, deeply spiritual. Oh, look at this. You have the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. Oh, how beautiful. You're going to get a new emotional beginning because you answered the call to do the shadow work. You are going to come into, and notice you go from the Ace of Cups, which is the beginning of the suit, and you skip across all the nonsense and you end up at the King and the Queen and the King of Cups. How amazing. The marrying of the divine. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a battle, but that's okay. Don't be afraid of the battle. The victory is yours. You're going to win this. You get the Ace of Cups. You jump to the Queen and the King of Cups. You have 2 5, so even though the Tower card isn't out here, there is going to be a change. Don't be afraid of change, because guess what, my friend? Change is the only constant. That is the only thing that we can actually depend on, is things changing. And that's something. And that's something. I'm just going to cut. I'm not pulling it into the spread. King of Wands, the Moon. Yeah, you win this battle. Kudos to you. Congratulations to you. You will go through a phase of planning. I think that planning will be deeply spiritual this time around. Once you start doing the shadow work, part of your shadow work is going to be planning how are you going to replace these habits. You'll be learning new things and weighing them against your internal moral system. Additionally, you'll be donning some new spiritual practices or religious traditions. Or whatever those look like, they're going to be really important. When we talk about the dimensions of wellness, 8 dimensions of wellness, I don't know why I picked them cards and put them right back where he came from. Anyways, when we talk about the 8 dimensions of wellness, spiritual has to come first. There's spiritual, emotional, intellectual, financial, occupational, social, environmental, and physical. Spiritual has to come first, and especially if you're going on the daunting task of doing shadow work. You have to have a spiritual practice. It's not enough just to say, oh, I'm spiritual. What are your practices? What are you doing daily? Are you praying? Are you meditating? Are you reading the corresponding religious texts that, or spiritual texts, metaphysical texts? Are you doing these things? I think once you do that, once you find your spiritual traditions, your spiritual practices is what's going to get you through your shadow work. That's what's going to bring you through, my dear. And that's what's going to bring you through to this new emotional well-being, this new emotional offer handed down to you by the divine. Once you answer that and take your cup, you become the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, the divine mask and the divine femme. And the beauty of the difference between these two cards is the King's cup is open, the Queen's cup is closed, meaning that she holds her emotions close to her heart, and he has the balance to keep his emotions within the cup without the cover. Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. It'll definitely take a battle. Again, you have the 2 battle cards out here, 5 of Swords and 5 of Wands. But anything worth fighting for is worth fighting for. And look at where you come to. You come to the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, enjoying the fruits of your labor, obtaining your emotional wellness, and the Hangman. Then you get to chill out for a little bit. Once you come out of this battle energy and this learning energy and this planning energy, you get to hang out for a little bit. What a beautiful reading. I hope this resonates. Please leave a comment in the comments. Email me, y'all. I want to let you know that I'm offering free readings. The information into getting into that is in the description box. I hope to hear from you all soon. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.